welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a plum smoky eye for you guys. I'm using the Morphe and Kathleen Lights palette because it's back in stock. So for those of you guys who didn't get your hands on it the first time around, it's back in stock. I absolutely love that palette. It's one of my favorites at the moment, and I think it's so affordable. So that's back in stock if you guys are interested. But I used that palette and I used one of Morphe's Pressed Pigments. It's actually the color that I have on my lid, and I have been wanting to use this in a tutorial for a while now. And I kind of just stuck with like the whole purple and plum theme. I went with the deep vampy lip, and then of course I had to use my Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit just to pop on a little bit of purple highlight. I absolutely love that palette, and it's so different that I feel like sometimes I have a hard time kind of incorporating it into my makeup looks. But anyways, I had a request to do a plum smoky eye, so that's what I'm doing for you guys today. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can stay connected with me and catch my next video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed. Otherwise, if you guys want to see how I get this fun, like vampy plum makeup look, just keep on watching. Alright guys, so first off I'm going in with this light tan shade, and I'm taking that on a Morphe E27 blending brush, and I'm just dusting that into my crease and socket area to serve as my transition shade. And I decided to start with my eyeshadows today, being that we're going to go in with some deep plum shades and you don't want a lot of fallout to mess up your foundation. And then the next shade I'm going in with is this like lavender, kind of like mauve shade, and I'm taking that on Morphe M412 pointed blender brush. This is just a little bit more narrow than that last brush, and it's going to help to get a little bit more precision. So I'm just taking that into my crease as well, but not as high up as that last shade. And I'm also taking it all the way into that inner corner and dusting that into the inner corner just like in little circular motions. And then I'm going to go in with this cranberry shade. And this is a lot deeper than that last shade, and I'm starting to take this on the outer corner, and I will drag that up into the crease as well. I'm using my Morphe M433. This is more like a tapered blending brush, and of course you want to keep this lower than that last color, but this is just going to bring a lot more depth and dimension. And again, I take that into the inner corner as well and just slowly build up that color. When you're working with a deep shade like this, these colors can be a little bit tricky. So I go in with this small brush and then, you know, kind of pack on the color and blend as I go, but then I also go back in with this large brush and kind of blend out all of the edges just to make sure it's nice and seamless. And then I'm going in with my Too Faced glitter glue, and I'm taking that to the center of my lid where I'm going to go in with the next shade that is very deep and pigmented. And I want to put this on my lid first because it's going to help to prevent any transferring, because I do have hooded lids. So I'm going in with this Morphe pigment. This is in the shade Designer Everything, and it's like the most stunning plum shade. It's like very foiled and it's so pigmented. So I'm just taking this on a flat shader brush. I think this is from like one of my Urban Decay palettes, and I'm just packing that onto the entire lid, and this shadow is so pigmented. Like, I didn't even wet my brush. That's just how pigmented it is. And then I'm going in with a clean Morphe M562. This is just like a little tiny precision brush, and I'm just blending out that edge of that plum shade. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of that mauve shade and just slowly blend out those edges. When you're working with deep shades like this, you want to be careful when blending because you don't want to drag that deep plum shade up too high, or else it can get messy really quickly. And now I'm going to the lower lash line. I'm taking that light tan shade first, and then I'll go in with a little bit of that cranberry. I think I actually mixed the cranberry and like that mauve shade together, and I'm just packing that on the lower lash line, and I'll blend it out with a pencil brush. This is, I believe, from one of my Tarte palettes. And then I'm packing on that plum pigment as close to the lash line as I can. This is a Sigma flat definer brush, and so I'll pack it on first, and then I go back in and just smoke it out with whatever's left over on my like tapered blending brush. And I just really wanted like a blown out lower lash line. And then for my waterline, I'm going in with MAC Costa Riche eyeliner. This is like a reddish brown. This is my favorite pencil to put in the waterline. I think it's just so beautiful. And then I'm using Koko lashes in the style Queen Bee. I popped those on off camera. And then for mascara, I'm using my Tarte Slash Paint mascara. This is like my all-time favorite mascara. And then going back to the brow bones, I'm mixing that matte like white cream shade with the shimmery white cream shade, and I used that for my brow bone highlight. And then I did the rest of my face off camera, but I wanted to show you guys this highlighter. This is from Iconic London, and it's a liquid illuminator, and it is so stunning. So I just put that on the areas where I want to highlight, and then I blend it out with my beauty blender, and it is like the most stunning highlight on its own. And it also works amazing as a base for like my powder highlight. So I put that on first, and then I'm going into the Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit, and I'm taking Purple Horseshoe and I'm popping that on top of this highlight. This really makes the purple highlighter a lot more wearable because it's kind of like a champagne shade underneath, and then I just put like a dust of that Purple Horseshoe on top, and it looks so stunning. The camera's not even doing it justice, but like in person it just had like a little hint of purple. I just loved the way that it looked. So I basically, you know, took it to my cheekbones, my cupid's bow, tip of the nose, bridge of the nose, and a little bit on my chin. And of course I had to go back in to the cheekbones and put a little bit more of that purple, and then I dab my beauty blender over it just to kind of like tone it down a bit, and it kind of like sinks that powder into your skin. And then for blush, I'm going in with the Becca Blushed with Light palette. This is in the shade Wisteria. It's kind of like a nice dusty rose shade. So I'm taking that to my cheekbones and just popping that on. And then I like to go back in with a duo fiber stippling brush and just kind of soften everything out and blend out that blush, just to give it more of like a soft, almost like airbrushed effect. And then I'm taking that Purple Horseshoe highlight to the inner tear duct of my eyes. I thought this was just like a nice contrast with like the plum, like cranberry shades on the lids, and then, you know, it's more of like a lavender in the tear duct. So I really like the way that looked. And then for my lips, I'm going in with Gerard Cosmetics Underworld liquid lipstick. This is a metallic like plum shade, and I am obsessed with this liquid lipstick. Even though the eyes were so vampy and plum already, I just thought this liquid lipstick would look stunning, and I really wanted something bold. So basically this is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching as always. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and hit that subscribe button if you aren't already. Also, I'm going to insert a picture with some nude lips if you guys aren't into the whole bold, you know, plum lip and plum eyes, and you guys can choose, you know, what lip color you feel suits you guys best. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys!